Hello dear student. Today I am discussing about cultivation of rice, part second. Spacing under good management and adequate nitrogen level. The optimum spacing should be around 20 into 10 centimeter both for Kharif and Rabi crops. With excellent cultural practices, the spacing may be slightly wider 20 into 15 centimeter. But under subnormal conditions, the spacing should be slightly narrow 15 into 10 centimeter, good for higher production. Methods of sowing. Broadcasting. The seed are sown by broadcasting when the moisture is at the marginal level and the surface soil is compacted by light roller or compacting the seed with moist soil. Second, line sowing. Sowing dribbling behind the country plow. Line sowing is better than broadcasting. Using seed drill to ensure optimum population, reduce the seed rate, and for early intercultivation. Third, transplanting. Before transplanting, field should be puddled properly with bullock or tractor drawn puddler. Puddling is very important operation in transplanted rice. Puddling helps to kill the weeds and suppress germination of wheat. Methods of nursery raising. There are three major methods of raising nursery. First, dry nursery, where the dry seed is sown in dry soil. This method is practiced in areas where water is not sufficient to grow seedlings in wet nursery. Generally, seedlings become ready for transplanting in 20 to 25 days. Second, wet nursery, where sprouted seed is sown on the moist puddled soil. Wet nurseries are preferred under irrigated conditions. Generally, seedlings become ready for transplanting in 25 to 30 days. Depot methods. These methods of raising nursery has been introduced in India from Philippines. Depot methods is commonly prevalent in Philippines. The essential feature of these methods is to have a very thick stand of the nursery setting without any contact with the soil. Generally, seedlings become ready for transplanting in 11 to 12 days. Manures and fertilizers. Organic manures are very important for rice cultivation as inorganic fertilizers. In case of upland rice cultivation, the use of bulky organic manure is very much desirable in order to maintain the physical condition of the soils and also to increase the water holding capacity of the soil for maximum utilization of rainwater. In upland fields, 10 to 15 tons of well-rotten farmyard manure or compost should be applied in 1 hectare areas, preferably 20 to 30 days before sowing. Application of chemical fertilizers depend upon fertility status of the fields. Apply 120 kg nitrogen, 60 kg phosphorus, 40 kg potassium is recommended. 60 kg phosphorus and 40 kg potassium applied at basal dose. Nitrogen is applied in 3 splits, 50% of nitrogen at basal, 25% at maximum vegetative stage, and remaining 25% at chemical initiation stage. How to increase nitrogen use efficiency in rice crop? First, choice of the fertilizer is the most factor for increasing nitrogen use efficiency in rice. For example, ammonium sulfate, ammonium chloride, ammonium sulfate nitrate, urea, calcium ammonium nitrate. Second, split application of nitrogen. Either 3 or 4 split depending upon soil type increase water use efficiency in rice field. Next, slow released fertilizer. Use of chemically manufactured slow release nitrogen fertilizers to increase the nitrogen use efficiency by slow release of nitrogen. For example, IBDU, CDU, UF, etc. Next, slow release by coated urea with physical mechanical means. For example, sulfur coated urea, neem coated urea. Next, placement of urea supergranules. Bigger size urea supergranules are placed directly into the reduced zone below 10 cm depth. Higher nitrogen use efficiency due to less denitrification losses. Next, use of nitrification inhibitor to control the conversion of ammonia to nitrate by inhibiting the activity of nitrosomonas and nitrobacter. For example, AM Yan survey. Use of green manures. If green manure is applied, इसकी basal application of nitrogen. Under this situation, NI stop dressing in 3 split at 10 to 15 days interval and 45 days after transplanting, recommended for short and medium duration varieties. Use of LCC meter. SPDA meter or chlorophyll meter first time introduced from Philippines. This instrument used for measuring nitrogen content in leaf. This is a leaf color chart which is used for matching the leaf color and assess the nitrogen level in the soil. Water management. The water requirement of rice crop is 900 to 2500 mm, comparatively higher than any other crop of the similar duration. Assured and timely supply of irrigation water has a considerable influence on the yield of the crop. During the crop growth period, the water requirement is generally higher at the initial seedling establishment stage. After the transplanting, water should be allowed to stand in the field at depth of 2 to 5 cm till seedling are well established. The second, the most important critical stage is tillering to flowering, and in this period the crops should not be subjected the soil moisture stress. The water supply should be ensured in required amount during clinical initiation to flowering stage. About 5 cm depth of water should be maintained in the field up to dwarf stage of crop. Before harvesting, water should be drained out from the field, allow quick and uniform maturity of grain. Weed control measures. In rice field, different type of weed control measures apply through land preparation. Summer plowing and puddling reduce weed population. Strength row planting. It is most effective to operate rotary weeder or fill hole in between row of crop. Now, International Rice Research Institute has developed single and double row cone weeder which can uproot the weeds. Flooding paddy at effective root depth, proper water management of 6 to 8 weeks, submergence control the weeds effectively. Hand pulling. Hand pulling should be removed once at 20 to 25 days after planting, and second time hand weeding done at 40 to 45 days after transplanting. It is laborious and it is not economical. Chemical control. Weed control by chemicals. is quicker and less laborious. Large area can be covered in shorter time with a limited amount of labor, and it is cheaper than other methods of weed control. Used Vitaplo 2.5 liter per hectare, or Thiovenca 2.5 liter per hectare, or pendimethalin 3 liter per hectare, or Enilofas 1.25 liter per hectare, as pre-emergence application on third days of planting, as sand mix followed by one hand weeding on 30 to 35 days after planting. Next, use of herbicide mixture. Pre-emergence herbicide mixture, for example, Butachlor 1.2 liter per hectare plus 2,4-DEE 1.5 liter per hectare, or Thiovencar 1.2 liter plus 2,4-DEE 1.5 liter per hectare, or pendimethalin 1.5 liter plus 2,4-DEE 1.5 liter per hectare as sand mixture. Enilofas plus 2,4-DEE ready mixture at 1.25 liter per hectare, followed by one hand weeding on 30 to 35 days after planting, and sand mix with have a broad spectrum of weed control in transplanted rice. Maintain 2.5 centimeter of water at time of herbicide application. Water should not be drained for 2 days. Fresh water or irrigation should not be given. Weed management post-emergence if herbicide are not used as pre-emergence. 2,4-D sodium salt at 1.25 kg per hectare dissolved in 625 liter of water is sprayed 3 weeks after transplanting using high volume sprayer. Harvesting and threshing. The maximum quantity and better quality paddy and rice depend upon the harvesting of the crop at correct maturity stage. Therefore, it is of the most important to harvest the crop at suitable time. Harvesting of crop when it is not fully mature might result in loss of yield with poor quality grains. If harvesting is delayed, grain may be lost due to damage by rodents, birds, insects, shattering, and lodging. Thus, timely harvesting ensures better yield, good quality of grain, consumer acceptance, and less breaking when milled. The right stage of harvesting, as commonly understood by laymen, is when panicles turn into golden yellow and the grains contain about less than 20% moisture. When the moisture in the paddy grains reached 16 to 17% in the standing crops in the field, the crop sustained a heavy loss owing the shattering of damage by birds and rodents. The most common and old methods of threshing of paddy is trampling by bullocks or lifting the bundles and stacking them on the raised floor platform. Now, paddle threshers are being used, power drawn. Stationary threshers are also used for quick threshing. Yield a well damaged managed crop of mid to late duration production yield about 60 to 70 quintals grain per hectare. Short duration variety yield about 50 to 60 quintals of grain per hectare under good crop management. Storage. Timely harvesting ensure good quality grain and prevent different losses. Harvest is done by using sickles, threshold and dried into sunflower 3 to 4 days, up to 10 to 10% moisture for storage.
Thanks for watching video.